Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind HR, and oh my goodness, I was not expecting everything that happened when I decided to share my story about surviving domestic violence. And so if you haven't watched it, then I definitely want to just give a quick recap, and I can't go too deep in it because when I tell you, I had no idea it was going to bring me to tears in that way. My life was literally flashed before my eyes 3 different times with my daughter's father. On one instance, he just beat me like I don't know what and put me upside down, going down the stairs, and the stairs were all cement. And another time, he played Russian roulette with a gun to my head. Another time, he tried to suffocate me while I was sleeping, or when I had drifted off to sleep, because I tell you, I had trust to sleep around him too much. But I will tell you that that was difficult times for me. I decided to share that story because I feel like not only are other people going through it, but I also wanted to help employers realize like everybody isn't like coming in late from work, late to work, or not performing well just because they don't want to. Like, we have to dive into that a little bit deeper and see what it is, because sometimes they really like struggling for their lives. 2020 was a rough time for me. All I could think about was everybody that was probably going through what I went through. I saw a statistic on the news one day and I just started praying like every day, like, oh my gosh, I just hope these people make it through, because now we're in 2020 where you don't have the escape of going to work or picking the kids up or whatever. You're just at home all day long with your abuser. So I want to tell you a few things that really opened my eyes after I shared those videos of me surviving domestic violence. Please keep watching. The absolute first thing I realized is that sharing my story was healing. Like, I had only shared my story a couple times before that actual video, so a lot of people did not know I went through that. But sharing that story was just so healing for me. It was difficult to record it. It was difficult to edit it. But I felt like a relief was just off my back. I don't even know how to explain it anymore. I was watching those poor girls with the R. Kelly series, seeing them share their story and what they were going through, and I really connected so much. Luckily, I was not in a position where I was being sexually abused. But abuse is abuse, man. And like, I can only imagine that for them, that was healing. I noticed that as they connected with each other, or they compared stories with each other, or they were put together to do interviews, like, you could see them feel a sense of relaxation. And so for me, sharing became very, very healing for me. I told my family when I was 5 years post this situation. I told my church, do a speaking engagement to the kids 10 years later, because I thought at 10 years, man, I should be so happy that I'm just still here. And so it's really nice to sit here and tell you guys about it almost 20 years later and to see the response from it. I think the craziest thing was the number of DMs I got. I wasn't expecting to get so many DMs. And the crazy thing is, not only were the DMs of people who telling me they went through the same thing, but so many people sent me pictures of their worst moments, and it was just so difficult for them. I felt so much empathy for them. I totally understood where they were coming from, and just, I mean, it's kind of crazy to hear this, but people were like, man, I never thought you went through that because you always had your life together. I'm like, girl, I just put on really well on the outside, but no, I didn't have my life together. Like, no, I didn't have my life together. And I didn't realize I had some girlfriends who were going through it literally at the same time I was going through it. And they sent me text messages where I was just like, what? Or people who didn't realize that I was going through that, and now they put together why I did certain things back then. I was just like, what the heck? That's already a pandemic that we're just ignoring in life. Like, people are being abused emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, and we're ignoring it. I am so happy to have like made them feel comfortable in some type of way, like for whatever I was able to provide. Of course, I talk back and forth with them, but it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And so it was just crazy. I obviously got some folks from people I least expected that were gonna like DM me. I just totally pray for strength, that someone who's going through this finds the strength to move on, pick up, rebuild, carry on, and leave the past in the past, and just figure out how you're going to make your new future. It was just crazy. I even had people who like send me messages and apologize for not helping me at the time. So that was crazy too. But since I've been recovering throughout this time, when I wasn't sharing this story, when I didn't have this platform, I really have done a lot of volunteering. So the house that called the police for me when I called my sister's house, which is a domestic violence shelter, I volunteered for them for several years, particularly right before I started my HR career and right during the beginning of my HR career. I was not only a court advocate for victims that were there and needed help during the court system, but I also helped them with resumes and like career development and just like job searching techniques or what have you. I believe I served on a board for a period of time. If not, they asked me and I rejected, but volunteering was very, very healing to me as well. Every time I'm doing like a volunteering initiative, wherever I am, if it's with the church or whatever, I'm on a board or whatever, I always volunteer that we give to my sister's house. And so I'm so happy to have done that because that's helped me heal too. That's helped me heal too. The last thing is that I just want you to know that you're going to see signs of abuse from people. And if I don't share them with you or somebody doesn't share them, you might not recognize them. When you notice that people are being a bit distant, maybe they don't want to talk to you as much as they used to. Maybe they can't go out at certain times, but they could have go out at different times. Maybe they are having a hard time with things that they used to do really well. Maybe they're being really secretive. Maybe they're being really quiet. You don't have to ask people details. Like I said on those videos, man, just like figure out how you can help them. If that's that you get them like a prepaid phone and you load it with minutes and you have it hidden in the house for them. If that's that you had a key outside your house, so if they ever need to come and escape, they can come and get the key at your house and come on in. If that's that you are constantly just checking on them, if you have a code word on the phone, when you call them and they say that code word, then you know something's going on. Y'all, to help people, you ain't got to know details. Straight up, you ain't got to know details. Because that's the hardest thing is for us to share details when we're going through that. So just figure out however it is that you can help them. Talk to them. And if they're not willing to talk about it, then just think of or use these resources I just gave you in this video, different options, and create a safe way for them. There are a couple lines that you can call, and I am going to put it here because I really should have put it on those last videos. You can contact my sister's house. They're here in Charleston, South Carolina. They may be able to route you to a national call or a national option or option local to you. And I'm going to put a domestic violence number here. Please reach out and get these folks some help. If you can't help them yourself, connect them with these people. Heavy video, right? I hate doing heavy videos, but I tell you, it was so much that happened after that. I didn't want to not say these things. And so if you're new to this channel and you find this video helpful, you find my videos helpful, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're returning, I thank you so much for returning. Can't wait to see y'all on the next video.